So there is always a fight between IT and business. We have witnessed era of personal device assistance PDAs from 1990s to 2000, and today's smartphones, what we use, multifunctional smartphones. And these technological advances obviously had nuances and its own pitfalls. And also it is blurring the line between office and the home, where a lot of people are using the phone for emails and the new business applications, and enterprises are allowing to store the sensitive data and the information on the devices. So in this presentation, what we will take you through is basically we'll outline the risks in the mobile application development, how you can mitigate the risks, how enterprises can mitigate the risk, and what are the tools or third-party softwares or applications, as Avinash mentioned, MDMs, can help enterprises to overcome those security issues. So one of the incidents, I would like to share before we start the presentation, that I was working on one project, and I was deeply involved with the business teams, and at the same time I was involved with IT teams. And there was a big fight between one of the security requirement, where the business wants the applications to run faster. They want to sync in no time. Whereas the IT team says, no, you can't do this. You have to go through the channel. So you have to use multi-factor authentication. And in order to do that, you have to use VPN. Now that was a challenging thing. And finally, the IT team won, and they had to implement the VPN for the application to sync the data with their network. So with that, we'll see what we have today for our agenda. We have, we'll see some threats which are there in the mobile application. As you see, like more and more people are using the smartphones today. They will have, threats. As you see, cyber criminals are very intelligent. They will target the, most advanced things and smartphones. So then planning for security. Then we'll see the multi-layered approach. Differentiators in enterprise mobility security. Security updates in the mobile platforms, and the recommendation for the mobile security strategy. So with that, I'll just start with the mobile threats. So one of the things which I would like to highlight here is most of the business applications, the focus is more on the business function, like how I can provide the business function. But security and the performance requirements are the two requirements which are mostly ignored by the business teams. And then those will be cast up at the later stage when the application is deployed and the applications got hacked, the data has been lost, and all those scenarios comes in. So we'll take you through all those things today, and we'll also answer your questions if you have. So let's see the trend today, threats today what we have. This is the statistics I have got from F-Secure, which provides antivirus and support on the mobile devices. So you see, Android is more vulnerable today. So 68% share goes to Android. Maybe it is because of the diversification of devices, and many vendors are there for Android, and it's open source. So Symbian platform is ignored from this report, but most share is for Android, J2ME, and the Windows Mobile Pocket PC. So Trend Micro actually identified there will be like 5,000 new malicious Android apps will be there in this quarter. So that was one of the big challenging factor for the Google, where they have to put some control on their app store or market store, where they want to control. They don't want these malicious applications to be there in their marketplace. So this is the statistics. I'll move on the next. So we have information like $1 million have been stolen from Android users' smartphones, which is like profit motivated and non-profit motivated. So people are, you see the trend here. The cyber criminals are trying to get profit out of attacking on the phones. So more and more we use, and that's why we had a discussion whether people are adopting more secure channels or not, or they are more comfortable on the phones or not yet. So this is the statistics. So these are a few security threats, top mobile security threats we'll see. One of the important point is when there is an application to be developed, we see there is a poor or lack of mobile security strategy when we start any application development. It's almost none. It's like people don't care at that time. Okay, let's see what happens, and then there is no formal strategy put in place for the security. That is one of the biggest threat. Then there is a less IT control. So with more and more BOID concepts are coming in, people are using their own devices. It's harder to control for the IT guys those devices, and that also becomes the biggest threat in the mobile world. Immature security solutions. Basically, you see that today, as I said, like no formal strategy put in place, and the applications are not developed with proper coding practices, secure coding practices. So it becomes easy for the attackers to make use of those loopholes and attack on those particular application. Network communication channel, as we use Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GSM, it is again those channels are not so secure, so they can attack using those. So that also is one of the threat. Data loss caused by the gadget. This is most of our clients say like, what if my device is lost? How you can make your app secure that your application does not allow anybody to log into our application and get the data whatever they need. So this is all this can be handled through some of the solutions we'll see in the next slides. Mobile malware, as I said, like there are 5,000 Android applications or malware already there in the marketplace. So these will be also a threat. Application proliferation. Basically, as you see, like millions of applications are there in App Store. For the vendors like Apple and Google, is very difficult for them to scrutinize each and every app. So basically, what they will do is just a general guidelines they will check, but they will not check whether your app is foolproof for the security. So that is one of the threat. Enterprise data on the device. As we see, more and more people wants to use their applications, business applications, emails on the device. We see a lot of sensitive data like pricing information of the products, catalogs. A lot of sensitive information may go on the mobile, and that could also lead to a threat. So these are some few top mobile security threats. Any question here? Okay, so we'll see some security predictions which we have. So we see the big IT trends today. These are, this is a quadrant we have put up, and some of the big challenges for enterprises as well as some of the consumer apps we see here. So BYOD related challenges. So it's very hard to control and put the policies on the devices which employees bring in the offices, and they want to utilize their own personal devices for the official work. So that is one of the trend. And then another one is basically the cloud, right? So more and more we go the cloud model, virtualization of the servers. It's harder for the IT teams to control that, because if you have to apply a patch, they have to apply a patch on all virtual servers, and it becomes difficult for them to manage the security. So this is one of the security predictions which we have in IT trends. In the mobile landscape, we see the more and more data exploitation happens. Hackers are trying to hack the apps or devices and try to get the data. And then more cyber criminal attacks, mostly on the smartphones and tablets, and mostly we see the Android, which is vulnerable to the attacks. So that is going to be there, continuing to be there in the next year as well. Threat landscape. Basically, botnet is a kind of tool which they use, cyber criminal use for attacking on any device. So bot means basically a malware or compromised device, you can say, and the net means the total network. So once they get the control of the entire network, they can do anything in that. So in fact, through the mobile phones, they can even reach your network. They can hack a lot of sensitive information. So botnets, so they will become smaller and smaller. So cyber criminals are again getting smarter and smarter as they, technological advances are there. They will have these small botnet tools, which even though if one of the issues you solve with the botnet, they will have something else ready for you. So that kind of thing. Not only the mobile smartphones, but you see the heavy machineries which connects to the your network or through Wi-Fi or web. That also is going to be getting hacked. In fact, the mobile devices nowadays, the Wi-Fi chips comes in the mobile devices, which gets embedded inside a human body. But that also, people are the cyber criminals are trying to hack information from those devices. Also, they are becoming smarter to hide from the enforcement laws. So they will be using some tools and techniques which they can run away with the laws. And as we see, like social networking is becoming a mainstream in many small and medium businesses. That becomes a threat because you pose a lot of risk when you put a lot of information in these networking sites, and that becomes again a problem for the enterprises, that how to avoid and how to put policies around that. Cyber criminals will be again making using the new tools and techniques to hack the data and do the breaches in the system. Mobile malwares, as I mentioned, that is one of the top security threat which we have in today for Android devices. And obviously the sensitive data we store on the devices, and that becomes a threat for organization where it can be hacked. So all these threats and security predictions, we'll see like there are some tools, third-party softwares, coding practices, and development techniques which we can use to avoid all this and to make our application at least 90% foolproof. Obviously, there is a chance of 10% where there will be a leak, but we can try to make it at least 90% to 100% foolproof. So there are actually some of the security. There is a slide which will talk about what are the MDM features which are there, like antivirus support, rug app support. There are 50 plus MDM solutions available, and everybody has their own features and related to security as well. So we'll cover that in the next slides. So with that, we'll see the next topic, and Dorek will cover a few of the next slides.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, Ajay and Avinash has cared about the mobile attacks and so on. So I am here to provide some kind of solution that reduce the risk and handling data more securely. So, and in the middle of the slide, I would like to cover certain aspects where Shashi was asking about offline app capabilities, web apps as well as native apps. So that will have some kind of an overlap with respect to this. So I mean, during our assessment, like Avinash Mishra has mentioned about, we had been to one of the customer that they have identified certain data which has been compromised, and we would like to do certain assessment with respect to where are the areas that we need to focus on. So during that stage, we identified that how the security can be built, and what are all the stages that we want to cover up. So in the existing project life cycle, we have requirements till the deployment stage. So in the requirement stage, whenever we are trying to integrate with the backend system, we have to make sure that like what kind of security that the existing environment already has it. If not, we have to identify certain recommendations and suggestions to make sure that this is what we want to develop and this is what you have. Second, with respect to identity management, basically most of the enterprises have Active Directory integration or some kind of user management integration. So if you manage user management data locally, you have additional security to be in place. If you have Active Directory integration, most of the environment supports basic security needs. So you have a very less managed to identity the user. Third, with respect to sensitive data handling. Here we talk about like how do we handle the data, and when there is an offline app, when there is an communication through the transactional security. For example, if you want to keep the data locally, what kind of security that we need to plan with respect to platform as well as with respect to device. For example, a platform provides a lot of security APIs where we have to leverage those APIs to make sure that we can make it secure. And now some kind of past history which I want to touch is Windows Mobile, which was Windows Mobile 6. There are a lot of storage capabilities that they had. One is with respect to file system, one is with respect to memory, one is with respect to data storage. But most of them has a lot of leverage to storage the data. But problem with the security. So anybody can access file system, anybody can access the database and so on. But good thing, the new platform which is coming in the market like iOS, Android and all, the basic needs of sandbox model was already in place. So the basic security has been already provided by them. However, to make sure that much more security has to be in place, we have to have a data level security also to be implemented. With respect to design, I mean, I don't want to touch upon most details about here. Certain design principle has to be in place when you are doing the designing. For example, platform APIs which is provided by iOS, we need to have certain principles has to be in place with respect to Android. So focus towards the direction and make sure that what kind of principle we need to follow according to the platform. Third thing would be best practices. So as Avinash Bidonale said that APK, from the APK file you can decompile it, you can get the encryption key and so on. So by applying the best practices in coding to make sure that those keys cannot be compromised in the coding level. So you have to make sure that in the configuration or some kind of data retrieval will be helpful to provide the best practices. With respect to tools and APIs, so iOS development which is Xcode and Android which is Eclipse, both provides tools to identify the memory leaks, to identify the hacks and so on. For example, Android provides MAT, memory analysis tool, to identify any leaks are available or not. With respect to Xcode, they provide instrument, they provide CLang. During the process, right, what we have implemented is we have identified a business model with respect to build and release management. So what that does is it will randomly take the source code from the SVN, it compiles, and we have integrated certain tools, memory related tools like CLang and Lint for Android to identify the memory leaks, which will provide extra security if the coder does not have practice those information. From the tool perspective, we are managing that. And finally, with respect to deployment, so deployment on enterprise, of course, MDM plays an important role. Along with that, a mobile application management, there is a new terminology which people call. So that also as integrated with MDM to make sure that how the application can be deployed and provide authorized access. So this is one of the case study which we would like to share with you for the security assessment. So here you can see that this is an end-to-end security implementation that we have integrated with one of our customer. So of course, I mean in the back end we have enterprise domain, we have SSL, we have OTA, firewall and so on. To start from the left side, we have a device. Device have three level of security in place. One is application security, one is device security, one is message level security. So when we do an application level security, sandbox is already in place. Data which has been handled locally, we have to have it. On top of that, we have to have a certain cryptography APIs to be implemented. For example, RSA algorithm or AES algorithm has to be implemented to make sure that the data is more secure. With respect to internet, there is some overlap between the desktop as well as on the mobile with respect to network. Network level security has, of course, mobile VPN, HTTPS and so on. On top of that, message level security is very important because unauthorized access, anybody can go and access the data and then they will be able to read the data. So we need to have a message level security as well. On the web services, which is very important for the mobile application, especially for native applications. Web services plays a very important role when you integrate with the backend system. So web services has different level again. For example, identity management, provide web methods with respect to certain keys in place or token in place to make sure that when you try to access the methods, provide certain tokens so that nobody can access it. This is a typical example that we would like to share. And during the course of time, we have identified multi-layered approach. This is again we have differentiated 4 different levels where security has to be taken place. One is with respect to application, one is data protection and device security, third one is network, and fourth one is application testing. So testing, we have integrated certain tools and techniques at the testing level to identify any memory leaks are available or anything that is available where it can be compromised and so on. One thing is for Android we have a Lint tool which identifies the memory leaks, and we already have a memory analysis tool which we have to get the license for that to use it, and also we use dump proc, and Procrex. So those are all certain tools in Android where you will be able to identify the memory related information. Finally, mobile device management, which Avinash has talked about more towards that. So we have integrated a couple of mobile device management like Sybase, Afaria, and good mobile technologies. So what it happens is, like, whenever there is a device, a jailbroken device like iOS and all, so people used to download applications and they'll be accessing it. To make sure that we have to restrict those kind of rogue applications, MDM will definitely help us to do that, because any jailbroken device, MDM can identify that it's a jailbroken device, so we'll be able to focus not to run applications onto the platform. Same with respect to firewall and VPN. There are certain ports which has been provided by MDM where we have to use certain ports, then only you'll be able to access certain applications. And you can also restrict certain applications to run onto the device when you are in enterprise framework, like in Wi-Fi policies, disabling the camera, which recently Android has introduced. So those are the certain steps which MDM policy has been keep on maturing during the course of time. So in-house enterprise distribution, which is mobile application management. There are application management platform which is already available right now. They have integrated with MDM to distribute their own application within the enterprise framework. That is one of the advantage where MDM plays a very important role there. Encryption, of course, it has already have a sandbox model and so on. Other than that, the native application which you are checking day-to-day emails, messages and so on, MDM can encrypt your email and messaging as well, which none of the standard applications can provide, but MDM can provide to encrypt the messages as well as email applications. Remote action, when the device is lost, stolen, you will be able to remote lock it, remote wipe, and you kind of a remote action with respect to device pin, changing the pin and so on. That is part of remote action policies. One more information about MDM. Before MDM was released, iOS 3.0 had support with Exchange server policies, where Microsoft Exchange has a remote action, where remote log, change log and so on. Then after they are identifying certain traction with respect to MDM, they have released MDM APIs. But the players like Avinash slide, they have talks about Mobile Ion, Boxstone and all. They have to take a special license to take the MDM APIs and then implement certain policies that can be reflected with respect to devices. So with that, I'm closing this thing. So Ajay will be able to.
Updates, as you see, the platforms are getting mature day by day, and they want to make sure that their platform is more secure. So they are integrating, adding new APIs into their platform, like Apple and Google. They are introducing new APIs to make the applications secure and the device more secure. So as we see, like more and more MDM policies are getting available in the more devices. You can see these are some new updates available in the platforms. Security stack is on the left side, and the horizontal line we have the platforms. So application level security, what Apple has provided, as Avinash has mentioned earlier, in iPad 2 onwards, if your application has some data, you can actually, with one single line of code, you can secure that data with the pin. So if there are some settings, like if you want your application data to be secure, you can attach that to the pin, so that if a user don't have pin, the application data will remain encrypted, and as soon as the user gives the pin, the application data will available as decrypted manner. So earlier version, what used to happen is, if I connect the device to the my USB port, the hackers can actually go and look into the data and hack the data, which is not possible now unless and until you enter the pin. So there are some different APIs available on that. They have also added some generic security services framework, which helps in communication. Some of the new APIs or frameworks they have introduced from the network. If you talk about Android, they have introduced Keychain. As we mentioned, Keychain is the secure wallet where you can put your username, passwords. There is one more enhancement, which was address space layout randomization. In Android devices, what used to happen is, if your application is holding some memory block, right? Any other application can read that memory block. So that kind of vulnerability was there in Android earlier. So what they did is, they have provided, like now in 4.0 onwards, address space layout randomization, which could be harder to read the memory block of the other application. With regards to network, what they have provided, you can actually create your own VPN network with your enterprise servers rather than relying on the third-party VPN services. So with the certificates management inside your application, you can create your own VPN channel. So that is a new API they introduced. Some Wi-Fi direct policies which are enhanced. There is like communication tethering between the two devices, which could also lead to some vulnerability. So they have added some new enhancements in those policies. Of course, from the device, they have targeted new MDM policies. As Dwarak mentioned, the camera, you can actually disable the camera. So some of the enterprises don't allow their users, if they have provided the devices to them, they don't want them to use that for as a toy tool and have fun with that device. So they have introduced some new MDM policies. Digital rights management they have introduced on Android 4.0 onwards. And of course, Microsoft is not behind that. They already have a sandbox model from 7.0 onwards, and they have introduced some data protection APIs for the developers, which can protect the data. So these are some new advances what we see as we get matured, and as we get matured, it will be much more enhanced security. So platform provides some security. On top of that, we should also have some of our guidelines to be followed, and using some existing tools and techniques, we can make our applications foolproof. So as I mentioned, this is some recommendations we do consider when we are actually defining your mobile strategy. And these are the recommendations which we can follow, and I think that will help to make your applications secure. So again, it is the quadrant, strategies and policies. We have to create IT policies for the mobile security, like who can access what applications needs to be installed. So that's more important again for any enterprise. Security assessment on the mobile device and the infrastructure. This is again very much required, where you have to assess what platform provides, whether the platform is vulnerable to the attack like Android, what kind of platform securities are available, what kind of infrastructure is available like VPN and all. Then coming to the best practices, what we talked about, you can train the developers on secure coding practices. We have given examples that how the applications can be compromised if you store your keys inside the application, which can be used to hack the data. We also have best practices like something like threat modeling. Threat modeling is like try to exploit the application by the testing team itself. So we don't have to wait for somebody attacks on the application and then we find the solution for it. So the threat modeling is a concept used in testing, where the testers will exploit the application and they'll try to see is there any gap between in the security gaps in the application. Avoid storing sensitive data on the device. Obviously, this is more important. You can define like what data can be stored, what data can be available always online. So that also helps. There are definitely tools, as Dwarak mentioned, like memory leak tools. There are some other tools which can see like connection pools and memory profiler tools, which can see there is any memory leaks, and transaction level security you can maintain. Of course, the use of MDM for password protected sandbox and other policies, we can use it from MDM. And as a strategy, we should continuously evaluate the new and emerging threats which are there in the by the cyber criminals, and also assess the classic threats like Trojan and all. We know that those will be also there active, even though there are solutions available, but as we see the new mobile platforms, those classic threats also will become a big threat for any mobile applications. So with that, I think we are over with the security. I hope you enjoyed the session, and it was a very good discussion we had. We had got a lot of information from all of you. If you have any questions, we are